Okay, we made it to Amarillo, Texas. Not bad. Got here about 5, maybe a little bit early. But anyway, Deb and I are going to do these YouTube videos just with our travels around the United States. We're starting out with everything on the western side. Maybe I can show some people some things that would interest them and they'd have a lot of fun doing, because believe it or not, you don't have to have a lot of money to do this. You just got to do it frugally. Like for instance, this campground is $45 a night. To me, that's a little bit too much, but that's what we're kind of running into. But we're just trying to get from home to Colorado, and then we're going to start at that point, start staying like 2 weeks at a time. Just go all up through Wyoming and Colorado and Utah and Idaho and just a whole bunch. Get back home for Christmas. So that's like a 6-month travel deal. But the one thing I did learn that might help somebody out with campers, and I didn't know this because I'm not an electrician, I don't really fool with electricity, but if you have a generator that you want to run like one air conditioning unit, you're not going to have a generator run both, but if you run one, you really need to, 2200 watts. But the problem is if you plug in from the camper to an extension, well, from the camper, the big main line for the camper into an extension cord, and then transfer that to the generator, it will overload it instantly. As soon as you plug it in, it goes straight to red, and it won't have any output. So you've got to make sure you move the generator to where the plug-in is for the camper, because then it works great, and I can run my front master bedroom air conditioner, no problem. But the other night, we was in the most torrential downpour you could ever imagine, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. I said, damn, we did this back home as a trial run, and it worked great. So we're missing something, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. And then as we drove the next day and we thought about it, I said, well, when I ran it at the deer camp, we did it in the back, but I plugged straight into it. I said, that's the problem. We transferred, juice from that big cord to an extension cord. Can't do that. And sure enough, it worked great. But it was raining so bad that night, and such a mess. The first night out, we ended up having to get a darn motel room because just couldn't figure it out. But then I like the keys in the camper. That was nice without a backup key. So I tried to pick my way in. Our two phones were in the camper. Finally, I just went and got a straight claw 22-ounce framing hammer out my toolbox, and jammed it in behind the handle and just pried it. At that point, I didn't care if I broke it or not. But believe it or not, it popped it open, and it works better now than from the factory. So the factory needs to lock the door, close it, and then force it open with a hammer. And believe me, it's a lot smoother. so I did good. I might have to call them up and maybe give me a lot of money for that advice. Okay, so the other part of this deal is when you travel around, it's against the law to have charcoal and lighter fluid. What you got to do is you got to make these wafers, and I'll explain to you what they are. And that's how you start your fires, and you cook over wood. Tastes better, and it's basically free. You just got to ground up some wood. All right, so let me show you these wafers. Michael Elia out of northern Michigan. I believe it's northern Michigan, but anyway, he's a kind of a distant friend of mine. But anyway, he came up with these wafers, and what you get, a pack of like 100, I think it is. And it's for women's makeup, right? So anyway, you take like an empty corn or pecan, green peas, and you put it in just a pot of water, just a little bit, and you crank up the fire, and then you put Gulf wax. Get that Walmart. Two blocks of Gulf wax in there, and squirt in some lamp oil. What happens is, as that can gets hot in that hot water, it melts the Gulf wax down, and then I just take tongs, I dip it in, take it a little bit, and I lay it on a big sheet of tin foil. And I got so many, it probably lasts me this whole 6 months. But it's so easy to make, so cheap. So anyway, what you got to do is, first of all, you got to have a Williams Collins knife with a Randy Smith stitch gear sheath. And this is the Master Woodsman. I tell you what, you can't get a better knife. I think the first knife he designed, but good and heavy. Man, razor sharp. It's the 01 tool steel. It is really nice. So there's your sheath, called the 6-way sheath. But then what you do is you break the, I didn't mean to tear this one apart, but you just break the wafer and you expose some of the cotton. And then a lot of people take these ferro rods and they're trying to do this to throw sparks on it. But, alright, what's going on here? This thing looks like it's been through the mill. So what you can do is just set it right here and just keep scratching it. There you go. Once it lights, put it in there. Put the other half in there. And there you go. And then you get a good fire. Those burn for quite a while. And I tell you what, you know, food always tastes better when it's over with. But go check out Stitch Gear Outfitters, all type of leather products. He does belts, just everything you can imagine. Gun holsters. And then William Collins, WC Knives LLC, out of East Texas. Randy's out of Ohio. Just can't beat it. It's a one-time purchase. You'll be set with a knife for life. And then actually this came from Randy as well. The bone handle ferro rod. So check it out.